It's safe to say that the 2024 NBA MVP race has been heating up recently, especially since the clear frontrunner in Joel Embiid went down with a season-ending injury. Before Embiid went down, he was putting up ridiculous averages of 35, 11, and 6 on great efficiency, while leading Philly to a 26-8 record in games that he played in. Since he went down, the 76ers have fallen off a cliff, going 9-20 without him at the time of this recording. This has resulted in a huge discussion about who deserves the MVP this year and how we find that out. There are some guys who have a decent argument for MVP, such as Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, and Anthony Edwards, guys who have turned their teams into legitimate playoff contenders but don't have the most impressive individual stats to win the award. That leaves us with 5 candidates who have a legitimate shot to take home the award this year. Coming in at number 5, we have Jayson Tatum, who in my opinion has the least convincing case to win the award. Tatum and the Celtics have far and away been the best team in the league this year, and are the favorites to win the championship. While Tatum has been very impressive this season, putting up averages of 27, 8, and 5 on good but not great efficiency, the main reason I believe he has the worst shot to win MVP out of the top candidates is that those stats are great, but if you notice, they are comparable to the players I mentioned earlier, as well as having 4 other all-star caliber players on this team. Essentially, the main case for Jayson Tatum to win MVP would be that he is the best player on the best team in the league, which over the past decade hasn't always resulted in winning the Most Valuable Player award. At the number 4 spot is the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks have so far had a very interesting season to say the least. They are currently the 3rd seed in the East and are 42-24, while being one of the more disappointing teams in the association because of their championship or bust expectations with the offseason acquisition of Damian Lillard, who has been good, but not as elite as Milwaukee has wanted him to be. Because of these lofty standards that have been set, the media has been rather critical of the Bucks this season, especially after they fired then head coach Adrian Griffin, while being the 2nd seed in the East and 30-13 at the time, and then soon after hiring a Doc Rivers, which received a very mixed reaction. All of this to say that they are still one of the best teams in ball, and Giannis is arguably having his best season, putting up averages of 31, 11, 6, a steal, a block, while shooting over 61% from the field. His trademark defensive brilliance and scoring prowess combined with his hyper efficiency is the best case he has to win the MVP. However, I don't think he will get the award due to all the controversy and criticism surrounding the Milwaukee Bucks organization this year. At number 3, I have Luka Doncic, who might be the most polarizing candidate on this list. On the one hand, Luka has been absolutely amazing this season, putting up video game-like numbers of 34, 9, and 10 on ultra-high efficiency and volume, while shooting a career high from 3 and from the free throw line, while simultaneously carrying a mediocre Dallas Mavericks roster to a potential playoff berth. This is where Luka's biggest counter-argument lies though. No one has ever won the MVP award from below the 6th seed, and only 3 have won it while being the 6th seed. So the likelihood of the Mavericks climbing up a couple spots in the ultra-competitive Western Conference isn't looking too good. So Luka probably won't win the MVP award this year, even though he's been on the cusp of it for a couple years now and has unfairly been giving voters fatigue for an award he's never even won. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have OKC's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai has been nothing short of completely dominant this season, putting up averages of 31, 6, 6, and 2 steals, while shooting a little over 54% from the field, while not being a volume 3-point shooter, which is very impressive nowadays considering most great scorers, especially guards, get a lot of their points from behind the arc. The only players who have averaged 31 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in the season while shooting over 50% from the field is SGA of course, and some guy by the name of Michael Jordan. Shai, along with other emerging young stars such as Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams, have completely transformed the Thunder, going from being in the play-in as the 10th seed last season to currently being the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, speeding up the timeline of OKC's rebuild and completely surpassing everyone's expectations for them this season. Shai checks all the boxes off when it comes to MVP criteria, and he is who I think should win the award if it wasn't for this next guy. If you've been paying attention to the NBA at all for the past couple of years, it should come as no surprise that Nikola Jokic is probably going to win MVP this year, and his 3rd MVP overall. As much as I would like to see someone else win the award, there's no denying Jokic's case for MVP. This season, the Joker is putting up averages of 26, 12, and 9 on great efficiency while being the offensive engine for the defending champs, the Nuggets. Denver seems to not be slowing down at all, being the clear favorites out west to make it to the finals, largely in part to Nikola Jokic's insane offensive impact. The Joker is clearly the best passer in the NBA and arguably of all time, while also being an elite scorer and rebounder and having a league-high plus 22 plus minus with him on the court versus without him. What also makes the Nuggets so successful is Jokic's dominance down the stretch of games. It seems like in crunch time he always makes the right decisions, which usually ends up with a Denver win. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets are currently the 1 seed out west and once again have serious championship aspirations, which is a testament to the Joker's brilliance. Let me know down below who's your guys' pick to win MVP this year.